Today I'm going to show you how to make this expandable liquid glitter pouch. Hello everyone and welcome back. Are you bored? Do you want a fast, easy project that could keep you entertained for hours? Well, it entertains me for hours. Sorry, what was I saying? I've made this project before and you couldn't fit a whole lot of stuff into it, so today I'm going to show you how to make it expandable. Stay to the end if you want to see what my very first pouches look like now. It's not what you think. Go ahead, comment right now what you think they will look like. I'll wait. Alright, so the materials you will need are some vinyl, parchment paper, clear glue, sequins, glitter, tiny hole punch, Exacto or rotary blade, ruler. If you choose to hand sew, use a cross-stitch needle because it is not as sharp and you won't accidentally pierce the vinyl where you don't want to. I can only say these things from experience. Continuing on. Zipper, and if you feel inclined, some bias tape for the edges. You will also need an ironing board and an iron. I found the rayon setting to be the perfect vinyl melting setting. And last but not least, a cutting mat. First I folded my vinyl in half, then I cut them simultaneously using a ruler and rotary blade. This way you only have to cut once. For the expandable part, you will need 2 more smaller pieces. Mark in 1/2 inch from each corner of the short end. Using a tiny hole punch will prevent the vinyl from ripping, then cut the corners out. You're also going to need a piece of parchment paper. I cut 2 pieces for each front and back and a longer, narrow one for the bottom. If you want this to be one huge piece, just cut your parchment to be 1 inch smaller than the vinyl pieces. But I do recommend separating the bottom from the sides, that way all the stuff just doesn't sit on the bottom. Once again, speaking from experience, all the stuff is right there on the bottom. This was attempt number 1. Lay down one of your vinyl squares, then place your parchment paper pieces on top, making sure they're centered and all the pieces are evenly spaced. Then add the second piece of vinyl on top, matching up the edges. Rearrange the pieces until you like the spacing. Don't forget to add a few scrap pieces to each side. Once again, important advice. This is important, or you won't have any way of filling your pouch later on. I'm sad. That one was going to be so cool. I will be using my ironing pad, but feel free to use an ironing board. I'm going to take a big piece of parchment paper to protect my surface. Now place your vinyl sandwich on top of that. Add 1 more big piece of parchment over the whole thing to protect your iron. This is wonderful because parchment won't stick, and everywhere the vinyl touches, it's going to melt together. Let everything cool before removing the paper. Now we're at the exciting part. Here's the part where you get to personalize your pouch. I'm going to start with the bottom. This is my favorite part. Go ahead and add glitter, sequins, beads, pretty much anything your heart desires. I'm using clear glue to fill my pouch. You could also use hand soap, baby oil, or just plain water. When you are happy with the amount of stuff, go ahead and squish out as much of the air as possible. Push the glue to the bottom, then seal up the gap by ironing it closed. I used a metal ruler as my iron guide. Let everything cool before squishing. You usually know it's good and melted when the vinyl starts to get cloudy. Moment of truth. Yay! Now it's time to fill one of the sides. Remove the parchment and fill it like before with all your glitter and sequins. I took the lid off my glue to make this part faster. I made a mess. Cleaning it up. Make sure there is no glue around the opening. Trust me. Push out all the air bubbles and iron shut. Once again, let it cool. Looking pretty good. Now repeat with the other side. This is so satisfying. Time to make it expandable. Center one of the side pieces like so. Then go ahead and iron that. Add the other one to the other side. Push all the glue away from the one side. Now you want to take one of the corners and match up the edges. This is difficult, but folding one side up helps a lot. Iron that down. Repeat this for the others. You could also glue this part down since it doesn't have to be watertight. Now it's looking like a pouch. I decided to use the bias tape to really hide that vinyl border. You can use a needle and thread, but I'm gonna risk using my sewing machine. This might be a huge mistake. Just make sure not to sew too close to the edge. I'm going to sew along right here. You also want to use a wider stitch with vinyl. Vinyl is really hard to sew because it wants to stick to everything, but go slowly. Had some trouble around the bottom curve. Then when you hit the corner, fold your bias tape inwards and carry on. At the end, you want to cut off a little extra so you can tuck it under. Now for the zipper. I'm attaching the zipper and folding in the ends. Sew along the top. I've never had a needle just fall out before. Guess my machine's not used to going so slow. Now repeat with the other side of the zipper. I couldn't sew all the way to the edge, so I finished it off with a bit of hand stitching. But once again, you can glue this down as well. And there you have it, entertainment for hours. I especially like that I can fit a lot of stuff in here. And there's even more space. I wonder if I could make one that looks like the old school water ring toss game. Another test that's worth failing. You remember how I asked you earlier to think about what my old pouches look like? Well, here's the first one. Not bad. A little bit cloudy, but overall, it's still in pretty good shape. But this one turned into a steamy pile of poo in a bag. Gross, right? Let's look at why this happened. In my old video where I made these, I commented at the end about checking your sequins to make sure they don't bleed into your liquid. So this one had these little gold microbeads that bled into the liquid, and I'm pretty sure the sequins did too. On top of all that, the little metal charms are going moldy. Gross. So probably wise not to use metal in these. Let me know if you tried this pouch project and what materials you used. Is it holding up? Don't forget to tag me in your project pictures for a chance to get featured in my next video. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more amazing creations, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye! Did I say pouch? Expandable edition. A giant piling steam of poo. Sparkles everywhere. Everywhere. Don't forget to... Ah! I mean, that's up to you. More glue, less glue. Why is that like my go-to when I screw something up? Seriously. There's something else I wanted to say. Something. Oh yeah! Don't be afraid to test your materials. Do tests. You want to see my tests? Testers. And then I still have testers. Trial run. First time. I'm actually honestly surprised I didn't puncture anything sewing this on the sewing machine. Completely honest, I was scared. I thought for sure I was going to have glue in my sewing machine. Now that I know I can sew a border around it, the possibilities are opening for other things. Suggestions? You don't have to add trim, you can just leave it. It's still good. It's like I put coffee in it. It's so weird that it changed so much. That's so nasty. And here I thought I was gonna take the metal pieces out and recycle them into another one. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think this is just gonna stay as a reminder of, don't do it. I don't keep everything, I'm not a hoarder. I'm just a craft collector, says the hoarder. Famous last words. I do love it though. I think it's my favorite one. I'm actually going to use this one. I couldn't really use the other one because you couldn't fit more than 5 markers in there. You can fit lots in here. Lots. So many markers. I could fit my life in here. No, I couldn't. I have too many hobbies. I could fit my makeup in here. I don't have much of that. Or I could just sit there and play with it.